second summer of splinters. This staircase, it leads only to some old pictures of you. Through 1,000 miles.
Black Country New Road are a rock band from Cambridge, England. That's the place with the famous university. They were formed in 2018. They released an album in 2021 and another in 2022. Shortly after which, Isaac Wood, who was their main singer and songwriter, left, but they are currently working on another album. So they're currently a 6-piece band down from previously being 7-piece. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is a request review. Most of the reviews on my channel are a series that I'm doing on the 3,000 greatest albums of all time, according to a list at a site called acclaimedmusic.com. But occasionally I step off the list and I have a few distractions. One of them is doing reviews to request. So this one was requested by somebody who goes under the handle Yeetgore, who's been with me for quite a long time on the channel. So hi, I hope you enjoy my review. I hope you enjoy my review more than you do of the previous one that you requested, which I didn't like, if you remember. So this time that was quite different. Let's try and do some description then. So this was their second album by Black Country New Road, and the most recent at the point in time that I'm recording this, apart from a live album that they've pushed out. And it's kind of a mix of a lot of things, but I think the two strongest things I would quote here are post-rock and emo, although it's not kind of full-on emo, not that I know a huge amount about emo. So musically it's quite complex at times. It's kind of alt-rock, I guess, not quite mainstream rock, but some interesting stuff in there. The particular use of classical instruments in a kind of chamber-like way, so things like violins and saxophones and stuff. Occasionally, some of the bits with those instruments sounds like some of the kind of trying to remember what it was, the early 60s, somewhere around there, the minimalist period in classical music. So people like Steve Reich and the bits that reminded me of a guy called Michael Nyman who did film scores. And it's quite varied. So there's kind of big rock sounds, and there's bits of this kind of almost classical stuff going on, and there's very kind of stripped back, kind of acousticy almost bits as well. So quite a lot of different things going in, and there's a certain amount of complexity in the music at times. So there's odd time signatures, odd bar lengths, odd numbers of bars and things like that going on. And the tracks themselves vary in length from, so the first track, which is called Intro, which is just instrumental, is 54 seconds long. The last track is 12 and a half minutes long. It's called Basketball Shoes, which is quite epic and takes its time. So the singing is mostly singing, sometimes kind of half singing, half talking stuff. The guy's got quite a low voice singing, and the delivery is kind of the structure of where the words are put together reminds me of some fairly contemporary singer-songwriter stuff that I've come across now. So Father John Misty is quoted by them as an influence, but I would say that I saw similarities there with Smog, also known as Bill Callahan, and other things of that kind of ilk. In fact, what I normally do with an album is that I listen without reading anything about the album or the band or the singer or whoever it is. So I get as blind a listen as possible first, and then then I do my reading, and then I do a second listen. And on this occasion, I actually was mildly surprised to find that they were an English band, because I felt that the singing delivery particularly sounded American, I think. And also it's kind of has some similarities to these contemporary American singer-songwriters. The words are quite cryptic at times. Sometimes you can kind of work out some of what's going on. It all seems very personal. He certainly gets quite worked up about it. And there's some religious imagery in there as well. I couldn't really work out what he was trying to say on those things. It gets quite intense, and this is where why I've quoted Emo as an influence here, is that he really does go for it with the singing, and gets quite into what he's doing, and this is underpinned appropriately with the music. So as I say, it's sometimes huge, sometimes stripped back, and it works together as a package. So it gives this kind of emotional experience as you're going through. So I enjoyed it. It's somewhat unusual. It's quite refreshing, I felt. It is quite an intense experience. It's possibly not something to put on really as background music. It does kind of reward having a really good listen to. So, yeah, quite good. Thanks, Hugo. You've introduced me to something that I didn't know about, and I've quite enjoyed. And for anybody else who knows it or is just coming across it and wants to have a go at it, I'd love to know what you think. Any other context anybody wants to give, then feel free to put anything relevant in the comments box. That's it from me for now.
You're scared of a world where you're needed, so you never made nice with the locals, but you tied me up slow with your vine stuff. It takes a few years, but they